Hello my dear students. Food security, as we started in the previous sessions and completed access to food, and today we are continuing with the title Public Distribution System, PDS, which means also Public Distribution System, and buffer stock, nutrition status. So what do you mean by public distribution system? Public distribution system means nothing but the system which was supplying food materials like wheat, rice and other food products which are supplying by the government in ration shops is known as public distribution system. So public distribution system is completely after the independence of India, when the second planning commission was launched. After that onwards, the public distribution system is supplying to the very poor people, and all the people who has the white ration card, all the white ration card holders will get supply of the public distribution system. So before then that, in the public distribution system, so what survey was conducted in the 2009 and 10, which means in the years 2009, between 9-10 the survey was conducted, is public distribution system is supplying the sufficient food materials to all the people who are holding with their white ration card. That was the contention. Public distribution system is one of the best process which is supplying the lot of amount of the food materials to our citizens of our country. So that was the very useful product where the public ration shops are supplying the food materials to the poor people. And also here in 2009, where in such areas where the density of population is high, in some states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, in such states where the public distribution shops are not well developed and they are not supplying the sufficient right. See, at present we are getting under the PDS shops, each person can get per month 6 kgs of the rice. But this facility is in the before times, each person get just only 4 kgs rice per month. So which is not making and fulfilling their needs in a month, which is the 30 days. In a month, 30 days, the person cannot adjust with that 4 kgs. Then later on it was increased to the 6 kgs, where the states are suffered in the previous times, they are also now in well amount. So that was only here given, where in the 2009-10 where survey was conducted. Let us we see public distribution system. Ration shops are important means for people to access food grains in India. One survey was conducted in 2009-10 to know whether families in different states procure food grains. From public distribution system, fair price shops and how much are they part of the total food grain consumption. Look at the graph 4. This shows people dependency on PDS for the purchase of their staple food grains in the different state of India. Which means, see, the one more thing is that where we are getting a ration through the public distribution shops, there to the fair price we will get just to 1 rupee kg rice. So the discount completely, the subsidy rates which are decided by the government, ruling governments, to that price only the public distribution shops will be supplied food grains under the PDS shops to the all white ration card holders. So that is also one of the aspects. Studies indicate that southern states of India have a good record in the public distribution system. Notably, these are the states that have followed a universal PDS system, which means that low cost food grains would be available to all. This is in the contrast to other states where poor families have been studied and food grains are sold to at the different prices to poor and non-poor. Even among the poor, the very poor have different entitlements or guarantees for the access. For example, the Antyodaya card holders are entitled to get 35 kgs of the food grains, rice and wheat per month per day, which means per month per family, which means Antyodaya card is different than the like a common white ration card holders. So what they will get, Antyodaya card which is given to the BPL families, the people who come under the BPL, like below poverty line, very poor, the people will get here Antyodaya card. Under the Antyodaya card, each family gets under the subsidy 35 kgs rice through the public distribution shops. So that was here where we can observe here bar graph also to fill this blanks, which blanks are given here. So you have to carefully study this bar graph, and after studying that bar graphs, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blanks are given. That blanks you have to fill. See, first 39%, 28% in second blank, third blank markets, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana states, Bihar, Rajasthan, Punjab. These are the answers of the blanks you have to study and fill. Let us see here second title, PDS and buffer stocks. So what is the meaning of buffer stocks here? Buffer stocks means what? So what stocks are called buffer stocks? So which stock is called buffer stock? See here, the basically which stock is purchased and stored in the Food Corporation of India. So which stock stored for a complete output of a year's here, where the Food Corporation will supply the rice to the public distribution shops, to government hostels, to everywhere. All these agencies, for the enough sufficient rice will be stored by the Food Corporation of India. So after supplying also, what remains stock is available near the Food Corporation of India, that stock is called buffer stock. So which means there is a Food Corporation of India. Food Corporation of India will purchase from the farmers, like when the government will purchase, that is purchased by the Food Corporation of India only, to the minimum support price by the farmers. When they will purchase, they will keep this stock as in the supply. So they will supply to the ration shops also, what we are getting in subsidy, and other things like to all the government hostels where the government students are in, hostels where the students will get the free meals in 3 times. So that also, that also here Food Corporation of India only will get supply here. So let us we see here passage what was given in the PDS, public distribution system, and buffer stock. The stock of the food grains, mainly wheat and rice, produced and maintained by the government through the Food Corporation of India, is called buffer stock. So what stock is maintained, what stock is stored or what stock is purchased by the Food Corporation of India is called buffer stock. The Food Corporation of India purchases wheat and rice from the farmers in states where there is the surplus production. The farmers are paid a pre-announced price for their crops. This price is called minimum support price. The MSP is declared by the government agency every year, which means either the farmers do not get any losses or the highly profits. So the government will decide one MSP, minimum support price. To that price only the agency will purchase by the farmers. The state and the central governments procure nearly 1/3 of the food grains from the farmers. These food grains are distributed to people through the various mechanisms. In the recent times, the government agencies are procuring more food grains. Then what is required to meet the public distribution system? So what is required to meet the public distribution system needs here? So because see here the public distribution system need So what stock is purchased by the FCI here, Food Corporation of India. So it will supply to the PDS. If government stocks keep increasing, government has been often criticized that it does not properly distributed these food grains to the needy people. Sometimes the government also exports these food grains to other countries. Do you think it is good idea for export food grains and earn a small income when a large section of people within the country are not able to access food grains? So what you will suggest in your view to this question? So what was asked here? Do you think it is good idea to export food grains and earn a small income when a large section of people within the country are not able to access food grains? When in our country people are not access to meet their own needs, meanwhile also here Food Corporation of India is supplying exporting to other countries, it is not correct. Because in some states Indians only suffering with the due to less where the meats are not making to sufficient enough. So meanwhile the stock is available by the Food Corporation of India, that stock is exporting to the other countries is not correct, because in our state in our country all the states are meeting their needs or not, that we have to observe. So when suppose Punjab, Rajasthan are suffering with where there is no wheat, there is no availability of the wheat, but here Food Corporation of India is exporting to the USA and Indonesia, to Bangladesh, exporting wheat. So already here in our state only the availability of the wheat is less in some states in our country only, but here Food Corporation is exporting. So that is not correct. When the needs of our state, when the needs of our country are making fulfill and sufficient, in such conditions if it was exported, there is no problem. So that was you have to suggest when this question will asked. The Indian government come out with a new law in 2013 called the National Food Security Act to legalize people's right to food. It applied to approximately 2/3 of the population of India. As per this law, every person of low income families is entitled to 5 kilograms of the food grains per month at subsidized rates. So it was given according to 2011 census, but at present to each person the subsidized rate 6 kgs was given by the government. Among poor families, the poorest ones are entitled to 35 kilograms of food grains. For a new year's, the central government will supply rice, wheat and millets rupees to 3 rupees kg or rupees 2 rupees kg or rupees 1 respectively under this law. If required, a maximum of 75% of the people living in rural areas and 50% of urban population have the right to buy food grains from the public distribution system. If the government is not able to arrange food grains, it will give cash to the people to buy food grains. This law also investigates to providing the free cooked meals for pregnant women and lactating mothers. So lactating mothers means the mothers who will feed their babies. So lactating mothers and children aged 1 to 6 coming to Anganwadis, and midday meals for children aged 6 to 14 in schools. While Indian Parliament enacts various laws such as National Food Security Act and implements schemes such as integrated child development schemes, security. See here, in recent times, the Indian judiciary also has become proactive in the ensuring food security through the judicial verdict on the court cases filed by the non-governmental organizations. The Supreme Court directed all the state governments and central governments to provide midday meal to all the young children studying in schools. Through such schemes existed on small scale in few states like Tamil Nadu. This scheme is now being implemented in the all states. About 14 crore children studying in schools eat midday meal today. Yes, obviously, so various children who are studying in the government schools, so they are eating midday meal scheme. 14 crores of the children are eating midday meal scheme under the midday meal scheme. Like this record, this report is as per the record of 2011 census. When state governments refused to implement this scheme, to court also set up the monitoring mechanism and providing the suggestions for the better implementation, such as school midday meals should be locally produced, hot and cooked and not dry snacks or grain, which many governments distributed until then. The hygienic nutrition of a prescribed minimum calories level and with the varied menus for the every day of the week. The court also ruled that the preference be given to the Dalit cooks and widows and destitute women, like the women those who do not have any support. And this is the largest school feeding, this is the largest school feeding program in the world in order to generate revenue for the schemes. And the court and directed in the Indian government to impose the taxes. The hot cooked meal is also now provided in Anganwadi for children. So hot cooked meal also providing in the Anganwadi centers, where the people, where the children get the nutritious food in the Anganwadi centers, like the kids who comes under the below age of the 3-4 years, they will get hot cooked food in the Anganwadi centers also. Nutrition food status. Lastly, we look at the nutrition status of the children and adults to judge whether the food actually consumed is adequate. This also informs us if the above discussed systems are working effectively or not, and what are the problem areas. So nutritious food is available in our country in all the states, or are there any districts which are suffering under undernutrition? So these are all the conditions we have to know by this title. See here what which we studied in the previous classes. In rural areas, to each person what kilocalories are required. In urban areas, to each person what kilocalories are required, that we have seen in the previous classes, and in this chapter also in the previous titles. So what we have seen, see here, so basically what kilocalories are required. So what kilocalories are required here? The people who are in urban areas, 2100 kilocalories. The people who are in the rural areas, 2400 kilocalories are required here. So that is very tragic, which means if a person after using his physical energy also not taking any required kilocalories, which means that person will get undernourished only. So he will become day by day weak only. So carbohydrates that provide energy through wheat, rice, ragi, jowar, oils, sugar, fats, etc. Proteins that helps growth and the regeneration of body tissues, and through the beans and the dals, meat, eggs, rice, wheat, etc. So these are the food. What food item will provide what that you studied in bioscience also, I think. And vitamins that provide the protection and ensure the working of many vital systems of the body through foods such as fruits, leafy vegetables, sprouts, unpolished rice, etc. Minerals that are required in small quantities for many important functions such as iron, for blood formation. This is provided through the green leafy vegetables, ragi, etc. If we conduct a survey, as you have done in some previous chapters, we can find out about the food people eat by asking them to describe their meals for the day. Through this, we can get a rough idea of whether all the food groups above are being covered. However, it is difficult to measure the precise amounts of the carbohydrates, vitamins, proteins, minerals being consumed by each individual in the mainly nutritious have divided indicators using the height and weight that can inform as the whether the individuals are well nourished, or through the various measurements of the large population, and using the statistical knowledge and nutrition have been able to arrive at the reliable standard. And using the statistical knowledge and nutrition and have been able to arrive at the reliable standard and ranges. A comparison for the individual person is therefore possible. This gives as the most reliable source of the information about the nutritional status of people. So because see, when we interrogate or when we observe one survey, so the people how much they are consuming, are they taking what their body is required, so such amount of the carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins are they taking or not, that we have to understand. And that also we can investigate, that also we can estimate based on a person's age, height and weight. So the weight is depending on the height, so that also we can do by measuring these things. A survey conducted by the National Institute of Nutrition, so which is located in Hyderabad, NIN, National Institute of Nutrition. National Institute of Nutrition is located in Hyderabad, so that you have to remind, which may also ask in the choose the correct answers. National Institute of Nutrition is located in which area? Lucknow, Hyderabad, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. So where it was located. So you have to find out the answer. So just example I told you. Across many states in the country confirm the overall alarming status of the nutrition in the country, while we have looked at the case studies that depict real family situations of the undernutrition and the poverty in the previous classes. It is also important to examine some of these faceless statistics. They help us to examine whether these situations are exceptions or an indications of the general trends. They also help us to look at the issue that may be hidden and not so obvious to common sense. As discussed above, to examine the nutritious status of the children, simple but accurate measurements of the height and weight are used. You could visit an Anganwadi center and observe how this is carried out. Since the children grow fast, their weight changes significantly with age. Unlike in the adults, for this indicator to be reliable, weight is to be accurately measured and the correct age should be mentioned. These regarding are then the plotted against the charts that have been developed by the nutritious to the examine if they fall within a normal range or below. For example, when we plot the weight of a child against his age, it tells us whether the child is underweight. This is for the one child, which means when we measure or when we calculate a child's age based on his age, based on his height and his weight is underweight or above weight, that we can calculate here as his food items, as he was consuming the food items, what his body needs and what his body requires kilocalories, that we can estimate. What does the National Institute of Nutrition, NIN, what does the NIN survey indicate? So the question may ask as 2 marks or 4 marks. What does the NIN survey indicate? National Institute of Nutrition. What does this institute indicates? Out of the 7,000 children in the age group 1 to 5 years examined in the survey from the many states in the country, 45% of the children are underweight. 45% out of the 100%, or 45% is underweight. Their weight was less than what is expected by normal standards. These children are in fact hunger stricken and not getting adequate food. Unless they are severely underweight, it may not be easily visible or the identifiable. Going just by the common sense, we fail to realize the enormous numbers of the children in the country are underweight. We are so used to seeing such children that we take this as normal. The survey joins our common sense and makes us the release that this situation would seriously affect the growth and the capacities of nearly half of the total number of children in the country. The report says the overall prevalences of the underweight was about 45% and it was significantly higher among the 3 to 5 years compared to the 1 to 3 year children. The prevalence was more than 50% in the states of Gujarat, 58%, Madhya Pradesh 56.9%, and Uttar Pradesh 53.2%, and observed lowest in Kerala 24% only. Among the states very less percentages because literacy rate is high. The awareness things and the awareness is highly increased in a place where the literacy rate is high. So the hygienic activities or sanitization or sanitary things, these are all the things under the maintenance of the nutritious food. So what kilocalories are required to their bodies, what they are intaking, these all the things are then well known. The people who are educated, they will be well known. So that is why this was the situation here where the highly literacy rate is standing there. The state will not face any problem, that we can understand by this survey. Also here the aged group people like 1 to 5 and 1 to 3 are majorly impacted by this things where the National Institute of Nutrition was conducted a survey. The overall things here, the overall prevalence of the severe underweight was about 16%. Nutritionists compare three different charts for preschool children. This is given below. These three different indicators give us an overall picture of the nutritional status of these children. So see here, the weight is plotted against age, the height is plotted against age, weight is plotted against age. You see here, underweight, stunning, wasting. So underweight, stunning, which means when children are undernourished for a long time, their bone growth is affected. So children would be short and heighted for their age. It is difficult to cover this, which means where the children will not take sufficient food during their age when it was required. Meanwhile, so this situation will lead with them. Wasting, this indicator is this indicate a child who has lost weight recently. If given sufficient food, she can cover up quickly. So wasting. So wasting, which means, so if suppose recently he was lost, he felt ill, and now he was taking the correct food what his body required, then he can recover it. So underweight children are at the increase and risks of the mortality from the infections and illness. So these children, like undernourished children, rarely they fall ill, and their body requirements, the water is required to their body, what vitamins, minerals, proteins, carbohydrates are required to their body, that will cannot meet, and those so rarely they can fall ill. So that was the percent. Such people are 45% are in our country. So the nutrition status among the adults, men and women, is measured using body mass index. Body mass index, which means where it was calculated. You have read about this in the earlier classes. Weight in kgs, height in meters or squares. So based on the height and weight, the body mass index is calculated, that we studied in the poverty chapter in 8th class also. This index is compared with a range to show if the individual is underweight, within the normal range or overweight. A high value shows excess fat, and a low value shows a fat level that is less than what is required. According to the NIN, National Institute of Nutrition report, the situation for the adult men and women are as follows. The prevalences of the chronic energy deficiency body mass index 18.5 among men was about 35%, while overweight obesity body mass index 25 was 10%. About 35% of the adult women had chronic energy deficiency, and 14% were overweight, obese. The prevalence of the chronic energy deficiency was highest in the states of the Odisha, Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh, followed by the 33 to 38%. In Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and West Bengal, this is very less. How is this related to food security? A doctor who is working in rural area of Chhattisgarh running a community health program where streams of the underweight patients come every day explains this like from a study of the patients, he found that the PDS grinds of the 35 kgs per month for a family of 5 lasted only 11 days. For the rates of the month, for the rest of the month, they have to depend on the markets or their own products. So the 35 kgs rice what was supplied under the public distribution system to a family, that finishes only within the 11 days only. The rest of the days will be faced by that family very hard and difficulties. So that was explained to the community in the, to the community health center person who was visited in the village. For example, a rickshaw puller in Bilaspur who earns 70-80 rupees a day would try to survive on the PDS grinds, spending rupees 400 on the rent and rupees 100 on the electricity. It was not surprising that he lost weight and caught the tuberculosis. These measures are thus the indicators of food security. The doctor from the Chhattisgarh says, so which means what amount of the food required to his body that he was not intaking, that was the problem, and he became underweight, and he was, but his body is not supporting to his functioning, so what he want basically. So that was the problem, that was that report was said by the doctor. No one would have a lower weight or height if she had access to adequate food. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. We can judge all processes like the purchasing power of the people by looking at body and parameters like weight and height. And besides, a person's height can also tell us whether food was available during his her childhood. We can still choose to describe the underweight and stunted people as the malnourished if we like, but it suggests the correct term would be hunger. So this was the procedure. So whatever the body needed, required kilocalories, the person should be intake to maintain the healthy. The person wanted to be healthy, so that person need to intake the food materials like all those things, carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins. These all the things he should take in the required manner. So in rural areas, what amount of the kilocalories required, in urban areas what amount of the kilocalories required, that he should intake whatever under any circumstances to maintain the good health. So that was said. So summing up, the first section examined the issue of food security from the point of view overall the production of the food in the country. What can be done to increase the food production remains an important question. Next, we discussed how availability is measured. A worrying fact is that the per person availability of food grains has actually not risen but the declined in the recent years. Whatever is produced and is available has to reach the people. This could be through what they purchase in the markets or in the ration shops or through the schemes such as midday meals, etc. Here we found that most people are in fact consuming fewer calories than required. This gap is severe for the poorest. Through there is a shift towards other foods such as fruits, vegetables, meat, eggs, and this is a welcome deficiency in the calories intake is alarming. PDS is not effective in places where they are most needed. This serious situation is revealable through nutrition surveys that show the children and adults as being underweight. In a chronic way, over a long period of time, 35% to 45% of the people are consuming less food than they should. A large section of the people are malnourished or hungry or less nutrition providing to their body even when we have adequate food in the country. This is not acceptable. This issue of food security needs careful thinking and effort in all the above directions. So which means where the villages in rural areas or in urban areas. So basically we can find these things, the people when they are shifted from the rural area to urban area, and there they are spending the lot of amount of the physical energy, and after spending the lot of amount of physical energy also they are not taking the sufficient kilocalories, what amount of the kilocalories are required to their body. So in meanwhile, day by day they feel very weak, they become, and they felt ill. So this was the situations will happen. So one should to maintain good health, so they should go, they should intake the proper required kilocalories, like all the food items to maintain healthy, wealthy. So this was the concept of the food security lesson. So where the food wastage or food shortage to the maintenance of the adequate amount of the food materials like carbohydrates, proteins, and all food items which give the nutritious things to our body. So this was the food security chapter. We were today's in this session we were going completed, and now you have to complete this chapter keywords, prepare some 1 mark question, and if you have to write all the 1 mark questions of this lesson, and then improve your learning also you have to prepare. And there is a locate the following in the map of India. So what was asked 8th question in the improve your learning, that 8th question also you have to draw the India map and locate all these things. So we can continue the last chapter of the paper 1 in the next session of the online class. Thank you.